So let's wrap another layer around this. Let's put a bit more complexity around what we're talking about. And I want to read two quotes here from your paper. One is that in talking about these the models that are out there and talking about the standards, the best practices, you write the models that are developed are very specific in nature, and after being published, no discussion or further development can be found. And likewise, you say, in addition to be theme-specific, literature is lacking a discussion amongst its practitioners. Talk about that.
Okay, so articles get published. They carry the theme of how do you introduce business continuity to management, or something else. What do you do in a shooting scenario? Something very specific. And they develop these models. They're published, and you can't really find any discussion again relating to that article, relating to the model. Some discussion arises from this. People disagree, they come with constructive criticism, they maybe write an article in answer to the methodology and say, hey, this is what I agree with, but I disagree because of this, and here's how I would create
that leads me
this.
to two questions. What you're saying is, in your review of particularly of the Journal of Business Continuity and Emergency Management, you came up with a categorization of the articles, right? That you found, like, so there's 4 different types or categories of articles that are sort of being published. What are those 4? What are those 4 types?
So they are IT and cyber focused, management focused, regulated sectors, and what's the last one? I have it here. And model and methodology.
Right? So in looking through what's being published, already 75% of what's out there isn't about sort of methodology, isn't about the architecture, isn't about the models. So already 75%, that doesn't sort of count towards what we're talking about. And then the 25% that is published about there, people sort of put the information out there, and then that's it.
And then that's it. Yeah, there's no discussion, nothing. And I think that's very important in the development of a discipline, that there is discussion and openness of information, and that people, you don't have to be rude about it, but constructive criticism is very important.
So if our discipline is a little bit immature in the way that it looks at itself, examines itself, critiques itself, can you give us an example or an analogy from a different discipline, a different industry that's doing a better job of this?
Okay, so we've talked earlier about marketing. Marketing has, hundreds and hundreds of journals relating to different topics within it. And when somebody publishes an article, there's often a discussion around it or an answer to it, saying, I disagree, agree, this is why, and, you would kind of pick it apart. In leadership too, you have all these different leadership types, and somebody would publish something about a leadership type, and then somebody would answer and say, that's true, but this is also more true, or so there's a discussion within the discipline about what's being published, what's being said, so it develops, and an understanding or about definitions, methodology, concepts,